Daydreamers.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Chemical X podcast. I'm your girl Amber, and I'm here with the guys Don and Space Menace. And we also have a very special guest here. Live action animation, aka Kaniqua, is here joining us on this episode's podcast, and we're so happy to have her. We'll be talking about the Spider-Man universe and more, and the plans that Sony has with Marvel in creating the new Spider-Man universe. We're also going to get into what our favorite nerd ventures have been up to this week. And first, we're going to start off with the X News. So, Don, I'm going to let you jump in here.
So, for my X News, did you guys know that the Power Rangers movie has Bryan Cranston cast as Zordon? That's a motherfucker.
I did not.
That's a motherfucking thing.
I knew that.
You did?
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome.
I'm sorry.
I guess you approve live action.
Well, they're gonna need something. They're gonna need something. So why not go get Bryan Cranston? I mean,
Right.
let's be real.
On the Twitter, he said,
I mean, they're gonna need some heavy hits.
They're gonna need some what?
They're gonna need some heavy hitters.
I agree. I mean, they got Bryan Cranston. They have what's her name? Elizabeth. Why can't I think of Banks? Yeah, Zach and Miri. Her.
Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah, they have her. She's gonna be in it. They have a star-studded cast so far. You know, on his Twitter, he said he's excited to play Zordon in the Power Rangers movie. You know, true or false, Billy Cranston was named after what actor? I don't get that. His name was really Billy Cranston? The Blue Ranger was named Billy Cranston? That's crazy. That's interesting. But anyway, according to comicbook.com, the actor who's best known for his work on Breaking Bad and Malcolm in the Middle is confirmed as of his his official Twitter that he's joined the film. Slated for a 2017 release, Power Rangers will be directed by Dean Israelite and stand as the third theatrical film release for the superhero franchise. I can't talk this evening. But to me, it looks great. I think Saban's going to do a great job with this, making it dark, making it somewhat gritty, grounded. And I can't think of a better choice for Zordon than the guy from fucking Breaking Bad. He's already bald. He's already white. It works perfectly.
I can think of a better choice.
Who?
Name them.
Liam Neeson, Steve Buscemi.
I wouldn't like to see Liam.
I'm just gonna go back. To the same well that now is my go-to well. Peter Dinklage. I just want it to be ridiculous.
Anything Peter Dinklage, yo.
No, Peter Dinklage would be good as Alpha 5, yo. As Alpha 5.
Yo.
Okay, listen, like I said before, I said it once, I say it again. Keep the Power Rangers dumb. I don't want to see a serious Power Rangers movie. I want to go and see some ridiculous, just like over the top. Come on now, you really want to go see?
I do.
You know
how I
play. You know,
yes, man. Dude, I want to see a serious Power Rangers because it's not serious. That's the whole point. Like, if you gonna ground some shit, don't ground Batman. Batman was already serious. Don't ground Fantastic Four. Ground some shit like this. Because it's my child. When I was a kid, Power Rangers was serious. Now I look back at that shit looked dumb as hell because it was dumb as hell. Make an adult version of Power Rangers. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Just make an adult version of that shit.
Did you guys see that video that went out on the internet a while back that Saban shut down immediately? And it was the most serious Power Rangers movie.
That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Just like that. You know what I mean? And
this is my thing. Like, you can do a happy medium. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can keep it campy for the people that need it to be campy, and you can make it serious for the people that need to be serious. It doesn't have to be all the way extreme on each side, which is why I think it's very good that they're making these moves with these serious actors because you know, you want to get the people who loved Power Rangers when they were a kid, which is us, our generation, to come out and see the movie because they're going to be the ones spending the money with the new kids, and they're going to be bringing their kids, and they're going to be bringing their kids, and so on and so on. So you want to cater to the fans, and you also want to cater to adults. So you're not covering your head in a hoodie as you're walking into Power Rangers movie with your kids. You know what I mean?
You can have your
You
chest
want-
poked out proud. You can be like,
Yeah, you want to go to
serious
Walmart
shit
and get
right
a Power
here.
Ranger shirt too. You know what I'm saying? I got my Power Ranger shirt. You know what I'm saying? I got my kids' Power Ranger shirt. We walking up in there, we get some popcorn, Power Rangers popcorn. We doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like that's. So they need to have that medium, which is why I think these castings that they're doing are very good. Because nobody knows these actors. Well, some people know them, but a lot of people, let's be real, we don't know who these actors are playing the actual characters. So you need people that you know.
I want to walk out and be like, that was ridiculous. And I want, like, if I had kids, I want my kids to, like, love it and me to just love how they love something so stupid, so that when they get like a little bit older, we can rewatch it again, and like we can like do like a marathon of like all 3 movies, and they all have the same ridiculous tone, and just be a good time. Because the thing is, if this shit is not good, if they go serious and it's dumb, then it's gonna ruin things. You know what I mean? But if they just like, if they're self-aware that the Power Rangers is a ridiculous concept, as well as a ridiculous thing. I mean, it's a show that was pieced together from another show about teenagers that, for some reason, are saving the world. Why? I'm not even gonna get into this.
They get their powers from dinosaurs. They get their powers from dinosaur coins. You know what I'm saying? It's robots that come out the ground. So why the fuck are the robots in the ground, yo? Why are they in the ground? Who built them shits? You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit don't make no sense.
I think it could be like live action said, it can be a healthy medium, and I think
I agree. Yeah.
Casting Bryan Cranston as Zordon kind of gives it an edge where they're trying to be serious. They have this serious actor, and the rest of the shit around it can be kind of funny and
out of Power Rangers. So how serious can they really have it? Let's be real.
And honestly, I want Zordon to be like a hard ass. Like, looking back, like I think we talked about this the last time we talked about Power Rangers. Zordon, as soon as he came out of the globe shit that he was in, he was like in a colostomy bag or some shit. Like, can we make him like tough or something, or hard?
But you know, Zordon was never really a campy part of the show to begin with. So I mean, if you've seen Elizabeth Banks' costume, she looks ridiculous. So I think they understand. You know, you need it kind of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, it had its serious moments, but it was also campy and fun. So it was a little bit of both.
Right. I feel like if they could do the same thing as that,
up, because that's what I think about when I think about what I would for the most part, enjoy to see from, or what I would want to see from this movie is kind of that medium that they had in Ninja Turtles. I enjoyed that movie more than I thought I would because of that fact that it was. I didn't like what they did to the origin story, but and what they did to Shredder, but just the fact that I felt like the Turtles made me laugh. The humans didn't make me laugh, you know what I mean? But the Turtles did, and the action was really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't care. That YouTube video I saw was enough serious Power Rangers for me. I would love to go to the theater and like actually, because that's something I would I would probably buy. I've never bought popcorn at the movies. I would probably actually buy popcorn and just like have a good old time laughing at how ridiculous it is. And then I'm gonna go and it's gonna be like, you know what I mean? Like all of a sudden it's gonna be like Zack Snyder's goddamn Power Rangers and shit. And you know
see,
what I'm saying?
That's what I want.
Like the Red Ranger's gonna be like
I would
next and shit. You know what I mean?
I would pay for that.
And Zordon gonna be like, you know, I'm Eisenberg, bitch. You know, I don't want to see
that. Batman versus Superman. I can't get it out of my mind.
Oh boy.
Anyway,
I'm gonna run from that. I'm sorry, because we've gone over that.
Yeah, go ahead, Amber. It's 17
We're gonna have to
Please go.
another.
Please
So I'm running from that conversation.
Oh yeah, I didn't mean to reference that. You know what I mean?
Oh no, it's cool. I love it because you guys, especially I know Space. I know you were torn up on the inside, and I know at times it just resurfaces like opening an old wound. And I'm here with Peroxide.
Yeah, it's not even It's not even about the movie anymore. Now it's just about taking shots at Zack Snyder himself. Like fuck the movie. It's just, you know, any way that I can take a shot at Zack Snyder, I will. You know what I mean? Like if I could just. I bet he can't make a proper peanut butter and jelly sandwich at this point in his life.
Poor guy.
He be cutting that shit on the diagonal and shit. It's like, nah, Zach, you gotta cut it straight, Zach. He be cutting that shit on the diagonal and shit.
He tried to cut the crust off, and he's like cutting half the bread.
Right.
Anyway, all right.
He can't put it in order. That's the problem. Is like he puts the peanut butter down on the table and shit, and then puts a piece of bread over it, and then he slices that in half. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then
Right.
it's like he
Right.
folds that over and puts some jelly on top. Like, damn, Zach,
And then all of a sudden,
then he
mayonnaise.
cast it wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
True.
Then we get mayonnaise out of nowhere. So I don't know.
Yeah. Where the fuck did the mayonnaise come from, Zach? What the fuck are you doing, dog?
Hey, I'm not gonna judge on what he likes to eat. I'm just gonna let Zack Snyder do what he does as long as he's not fucking up any more movies. Anyways, I'm just gonna do a quick shout out to the app gamers out there. There's been some big news. Tencent has acquired Supercell, and for those of you who aren't familiar with Supercell is the creator of Clash of Clans, a very popular app game on iOS and on Android, I believe, as well. Tencent Holdings Ltd. And its partners will pay over $10 billion to acquire Supercell, the maker of Clash of Clans. Tencent isn't widely known. Like, I didn't really know much about them, but here's a little info on this company. Tencent is the world's biggest video game publisher by revenue. The company's market capitalization was $207 billion at closing price. That's more than Oracle and Intel. And we know that Intel is like big. They have like the best processors and the best graphics cards and stuff like that. Online games accounted for more than half of Tencent's $15 billion revenue last year. Tencent also acquired Riot Games, and its only title was League of Legends. And I know League of Legends is a very popular game. It's similar to Overwatch, but it's on the PC. And I know a lot of people play it. And they acquired them back in 2011. They paid $400 million. So Tencent isn't afraid to drop the bucks when they see a business venture that could potentially make them more cash. And with this successful acquisition of League of Legends, I feel that Supercell and Clash of Clans will be a good fit for this game publishing powerhouse. So yeah, what do you guys think about Tencent acquiring Supercell? Let us know down in the comments. Guys, Don, Space, live action, what do you guys think about it if you have any opinions on it at all?
Money.
Yeah.
And sorry, if I start talking over someone, you guys are breaking up in my headphones so bad sometimes that I don't even realize someone's talking. So sorry in advance. But yeah, it's just a lot of money being exchanged, and that's the only thing that hits me. That's crazy numbers.
Mm-hmm.
How much money was it again?
$10 billion for Supercell.
What?
Yeah. And then they paid $400 million for Riot Games, and Riot Games at the time only had one title, and that was League of Legends. So I mean, that's still a lot of money for one title.
Damn.
Yeah. I had no idea who Tencent was until now. So I mean, they are just buying up all types of shit, and I think it seems like they know what they're doing, and they're pursuing stuff that is making waves, especially in the mobile gaming community. So
I need to come up with a mobile game like quick.
Yeah, get a piece of that $10 billion. Shit.
Like, oh my God, somebody! You ain't even got to pay me $10 billion, son. You could pay me like.
That's crazy though.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's a. I mean, I don't know if you guys played Clash of Clans. I played for like a quick hot second, and I just could not do the grind. But I know so many people that are still on it. And it's pretty robust.
I don't play cell phone games. I don't like cell phone games at all. I don't play any of them.
Yeah, I do a lot of things where I'm waiting, like the DMV and the grocery store.
Yeah,
so
like
I'm constantly
if it's
doing online games.
If it's some shit where I'm like stuck in a situation, I gotta play it online, like a cell phone game, I'll do it. But if I got like the choice, I'm not gonna like go home and get on my cell phone and game and shit. I'm gonna get on the PlayStation or some shit.
Yeah, but this guy, my fiance, he is like, as soon as he gets home, he's like checking his base and making sure he can get all his resources. I mean, people really get into this shit. So,
yeah, no, Chris. I mean, Chris plays that one game that he plays all the time whenever he has an opportunity. Me, if I'm bored or if I'm alone, I'm on YouTube. I'm gonna be on Bleacher Report. I'm always following my sports, movies, and just stupid stuff on YouTube. But I can see how people get into it. I mean, these days the graphics are better than the graphics I had, on systems when I was growing up. So if I was a kid, I get it,
Right. And I'm a child of the Game Boy, so having something where I'm also making phone calls on and I'm playing a game at the same time on it is just kind of like just bringing me back to when I was playing Pokemon on my Game Boy Color. So, ooh, and this has nothing to do with the X News, but there's also like this device that I think it's called the Nintendo Super or something like that, but it's pretty much a Game Boy and you can attach it to your cell phone and play old games.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that.
That has nothing to do with anything. I just thought of it just now. So yeah, but yeah, Tencent
cool.
acquiring Supercell. That is my X News.
I just want to add, Tencent
Cool.
sounds like a broke ass rapper that like never made it.
True,
You know what I'm
true.
saying? Like
Yeah.
10 cent dropping soon.
Shit.
That's what that shit sounds
Never.
He's gonna drop that album for $1.99
Yeah.
on the Google Store, Play Store.
Shit. Tencent is dropping 10 billion.
Right.
For
Yeah,
Supercell.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
But,
That is truly amazing.
But yeah, you guys. All right, let's move on to the hot topic. Sony plans whole Spider-Man universe and more with Marvel. Don, I'm gonna let you head this up. You're a Marvel man, so tell us what you think.
Yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming. I'm just going to read the first paragraph. Spider-Man Homecoming, and this is from comicbook.com. This movie will be the first fruit of the vine of the partnership between Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures, but it won't be the last, according to Sony Pictures Entertainment Chairman Tom Rothman. THR asked Rothman about the possibility of building a Spider-Man movie universe out of the partnership and about the possibility of Sony working with Marvel on other projects. To me, this shit sounds like they're going to make their own little Spider universe with the help of Marvel, and I'm all on board for it. If it's
That's what they were trying to do with Amazing Spider-Man 2, set that up, and it didn't work out with, but they didn't have Marvel at that time.
Exactly.
Sorry, go ahead.
Exactly. No, I agreed. Exactly. It's just now, hopefully, with Marvel's hand in it, they can make something substantial, and it will connect to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Sony can put their own little spin on it. Hopefully, they don't fuck it up too bad, and they can have the Sinister Six or whatever Aunt May, whatever movie they want to fucking have with Spider-Man.
Aunt May movie?
They was gonna do that shit.
They talked about that earlier on.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
They was gonna do
It
some
was about
shit.
that life for a split second.
Oh my gosh. I'm not sure.
Notice in paragraph 2 they were gonna do like a female Spider-Man situation. They dropped it once they got with Marvel. It was
I would be on board with that if they do Spider-Woman. Shit,
I
I mean,
kinda
or
would
Spider-Gwen or something. She's real popular.
yeah,
You know
but
what I mean?
without Marvel.
Nah, no. I would want Marvel.
Okay,
to have
yeah,
a
all
hand
right,
in
that's
it.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, whatever Marvel say, you be like, yes, sir, and then you just go ahead and let them do whatever they want to do.
Right.
I'm not interested in any of this, man. This is not cool anymore. I'm always gonna be the person to say something. You know what I mean? Like, that's my place in the world and on this cast, for sure. But let me go ahead and quell the fire, real quick. This is lame. I mean, what's up with this movie universe shit? Like, everything doesn't need to be a universe. How about you make a good movie, and if it's good and fans say, hey, can you make another one? Then you make another one. And then it's like, if that's good and fans are like, hey, man, how about you give us a third? Then you do it. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. We don't need this.
I have to side with you there. Like, I don't get why would you upfront your money and have all these plans when you don't even know. Like, I'm going to jump back in the Power Rangers for a second. They've already signed up for 7 Power Ranger movies.
Mm-hmm.
Why? You don't even know.
You
So,
want
I mean,
me
this
to-
is
you
the
want me
same
to-
thing.
You want me to tell you why?
Yeah.
Because of the Avengers. It all starts with the Avengers. If it wasn't for the Avengers, none of this shit would be happening. Won't be no Batman v Superman. Won't be no Zack Snyder. Won't be none of this shit if it wasn't for the Avengers.
Because
They saw
normally,
the
back in
potential.
the day, you do the 1, 2, 3. If you were lucky, you do 1, 2, and if you really was making money, you would do at least 3, and 3 was it.
Right.
And then you would have to wait 10 years to get a reboot. You know what I mean? Now they rebooting 2 years later. It's like, what? It's like,
Right.
we literally this movie just came out on DVD and you're rebooting it already. Like, it's crazy.
And to me, that's the thing about it,
That's
is
real
that,
shit.
like, it's like you don't give it any time for, like, the audience to breathe. So it's kind of like it's being forced down the throat. So it's like, for real, like, it makes me feel like if I go and I support this one Spider-Man movie, that I'm pretty much buying in to a whole universe, you know what I mean, whether I really want to or not. It makes you feel like you can't just go see one, you know what I mean? And then when they do stuff like this, the movies in the middle, their only purpose really is to set up other things for the universe, which is why I tend to always say that, like, in my opinion, like, the Marvel movies, like, I feel like the second and third film for some of the characters, Iron Man being one of them, like, they suck. I thought Iron Man 2 sucked. I thought Iron Man 3 sucked. I thought Thor 2 was garbage. Like,
It was.
It
That
didn't
shit
just
sucked.
suck. It was garbage.
Fuck
You know what I'm
that
saying?
movie.
And I felt the same about Iron Man 3 as well. Honestly, I thought that shit was, like, complete garbage. And I felt like when, like, people were supporting it, that was the moment when I realized that, like, people had bought in and they weren't going to allow themselves to not like a Marvel movie, because what they did to the Mandarin was, like, for me to read reviews and to have people be like, and the Mandarin reveal, like, was so intelligently handled. No, it fucking wasn't. You took a goddamn well-established actor like Ben Kingsley, who was doing a fucking great job playing the Mandarin, first and foremost. Let's make that clear first. And then it's like you strip all that away, like, oh yeah, the actor who was acting all good was just an actor. And this white guy over here that's mad at Tony Stark's for, like, dissing him, which is what we've done every fucking movie. He's the real guy that. And then it's like human beings running around like, you know what I mean, like fire breathing dragons and shit. It's like they turning all hot, but their clothes not burning. And then Piper turned, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
she turned that way, and then she wasn't even in Civil War. It was like the Russo brothers was like, we don't even know what the fuck to do with that bullshit. Like, we can't even put her in this movie because we don't want to address that now she has superpowers and shit. Maybe if we don't show her for like 2 or 3 movies, people will forget and she can just be normal again. Come on, man, that was bullshit. So, I mean, come on, man. Like, let's be real about this. They make a Spider-Man universe. Half of these movies are going to fucking suck. This is the bottom line.
It's like, all right.
So why can't they just focus on making one good movie at a time?
I agree with, because of the Avengers, because they see the cash in making all these movies, building anticipation, because fans get excited.
But the cash is slowing down because Civil War was really, really good, but it didn't do in the box office what was expected. You know what I mean?
Of course not.
And it's because people aren't going to just, you got to slow it down, man. Like, maybe they just need to not release schedules or release the whole universe thing. Like,
I was just
if you
about
want
to
do
say
it,
that. I was just about to say something like that. It's kind of like,
Okay.
I think where the problem lies is the fact that with the way social media and everything is today, like, we already know there's going to be 20 movies in this series of movies, or in this quote unquote universe. Like, if and that's another problem that I have with Batman versus I hate to bring that back up because but I needed to prove my point. We already knew that the Justice League was coming. So by the end of that movie, it kind of diminished the ending of that movie. Okay, the whole movie kind of diminished the ending of the movie, but I'm just saying, let's say the whole movie was good and then you got to that ending. And then it's kind of like that ending was meaningless because you already know that Justice League is coming. And we already know before Batman versus Superman comes out that Superman is in the Justice League. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like...
Right, so you know he's not dead, yeah.
If we didn't know that Iron Man 3 was coming, if we didn't know that the Avengers were coming, if we didn't know that Thor was coming, if we didn't know that all of these movies were coming with that kind of help,
oh, for sure.
You already
know,
sure. Then every movie would stand alone because you don't know if it's going to get another movie or not. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. That's why I'm not a big spoiler fan because, and I always use this as the reason why I'm not a big spoiler fan. It's funny because I was listening to the album again today. The biggest spoiler in my life that ruined something for me was when Kanye West dropped My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And leading up to dropping that album, he was doing Good Music Fridays. And I remember every single Friday, I couldn't wait to hop on rapradar.com, the blog, and listen to whatever track Kanye dropped. And it was like 5 or 6 straight Fridays, and every single track was just like fire. And it was just like, man, this shit is amazing. Kanye is the man. And my beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy drops, and every goddamn track he dropped on Good Music Friday was on the damn album. And I was like, what the fuck? So he leaked his own album. You know what I mean? And it was like, and it took away from it. So it's funny, because of that, I listened to that album one time, never listened to it again. And like, not too long ago, somebody was referencing how classic it was. And it made me be like, it diminished the classicness of it to me. You know what I mean? Every song, when I heard those songs individually, they were some of the best rap songs I ever heard. You know what I mean? Had I heard them for the first time on that album, I probably would have spontaneously combusted. So I was listening to it the other day, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is not just like the best Kanye album. It might be one of the best rap albums ever, but I never got to feel that way in the moment. Imagine watching Batman versus Superman or Civil War or anything, and you didn't even know Spider-Man was going to be in it. You know what I mean? And you had no idea that, you know, the Infinity Gauntlet would come into play and stuff like that. We know all this shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, it diminishes it.
If I can cut in a second, not cutting you off, but the reason why it's like... Yeah, the reason why it's like that is because of the internet. We live in the internet age. So you can try to hide that shit all you want. You know what they have they have battle drones on the set of Star Wars 8, episode 8, and they still getting photos of shit. Like, you can't stop people from wanting to know shit. They gonna know, and they gonna expose that shit, because the internet is hard not to spoil it. Like, you know how many times I accidentally spoiled shit for myself? It's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just how it is.
Yeah,
so
I mean, that's the worst right there.
I feel like Marvel put that list out because they know niggas is gonna find it anyway. So they're like, fuck it, let's put it out.
Kind of like if you get people to buy in, like you say, then they're gonna go searching for the information. They're gonna Google it. They're gonna wanna, you know, it's, you know what it is. You know what happened? The Matrix happened. The Matrix started this whole thing. If you really want to go to it, and Matrix was a trilogy, but the Matrix had the video game that tied into the movie. It had the Animatrix that tied into the movie. So if you didn't play the video game, if you didn't watch Animatrix, there was certain stuff that you didn't know what was going on, and they told those through stories in between. So, you know, you're going online searching for this information or that information. You're trying to find out what's going on and this, that, and the other. And I think, you know, these films today have that Matrix effect, where Marvel specifically, because they have the TV shows that are tied in, they have the Netflix shows that are tied in, you know, those one shots that they were releasing when the movies first really started, you know what I mean, which ended up turning out to be, you know, after credit scenes. So,
and that Matrix game and Animatrix were the equivalent of Iron Man 3 and Thor 2, because they were garbage.
Well, I enjoyed them, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, everybody can disagree on that.
I'm sorry, I just knocked something that you love, but I thought.
Oh no, you're fine. Oh hey, you can knock whatever I love. It doesn't mean I'm not gonna love it, you know. But
yeah, that's how you gotta carry it right there. That's how Don does. Is I could say anything about anything. He's like, man, fuck you, Space. I'm going right home.
I'm gonna watch this shit.
I'm watching that shit again.
You can't change me. You know what I'm saying? You can't change. You can't steal my joy. You know what I'm saying?
I think I'm just more interested in seeing how is Spider-Man Homecoming going to be different than the last two reboots. The Tobey Maguire, the Andrew Garfield. Why the fuck didn't they finish The Amazing Superman? Like, I don't understand.
They don't have origin in it. You know what I mean?
You said The Amazing Superman?
I mean, sorry, Amazing Spider-Man. Get that net.
See, I was trying to let you go. He caught you on that one.
Nah, because, you know, people in the comments be like, did you say
yeah, they be like, this idiot.
Nah, The Amazing Superman would be hard. The Amazing Superman would be hard, though. He'd be swinging all over the buildings and shit, shooting web out his chest and shit. I like that shit.
I think it would depend on, I think this movie being really good will depend on how much Marvel has their hands in the movie. Because, you know, from the article, Sony's trying to make it seem like, yeah, you know, we're working with Marvel because they know what they're doing, but, you know, we're the commanders of this ship. And it's like, yeah, if you really was, you know that you need to let Marvel basically do this entire movie by themselves.
Right.
And you just slap your name on it. Because if you didn't see anything in Civil War, like, Marvel having Spider-Man can make you billions of dollars, you know what I'm saying? So I think it just all kind of comes down to how much Marvel has to actually do with the movie.
I
agree.
said,
My question with that is, will Marvel lend other characters into the Spider-Man movie? I think we already know Tony Stark's will be in there, and I just wonder how much I don't know what the word would be for it, but kind of like
Crossover
characterization, I guess, is going to be in it.
I just hope it's different. Like, I don't want to see the same Peter Parker story. I don't want to see Uncle Ben die again. You know what I mean? Like,
as far as I know, they've already said that's not going to be in this movie.
Right.
Yeah. I think they want to just start with the movie, like just start you right
Has
in
anybody
there.
been reading the Miles Morales Spider-Man in the comics?
I haven't, but I hear it's really good, huh?
It is. I hope it's like that. I hope it's just like a kid that's a teenager. He going through, high school. You know what I'm saying? He gets picked on, but he's also Spider-Man. He also deals with all this superhero shit. He's like a regular kid that gets to be a superhero. And kids are going to like that. Adults are going to like that. You know what I mean? Just make it... I don't fucking know.
I wonder why they didn't just go ahead and do the Miles Morales story. Why didn't they just go ahead and do that? And
black.
you did say Donald Glover.
Because they didn't know that Black Panther was going to hit the way he did.
Or maybe they're just like, okay, way too many black people, yo.
I think if Black Panther, if they wouldn't have put Spider-Man in this and Black Panther would have blew up the way it was and then they got the rights to got some partnership with Sony, they probably would have got Miles Morales. Instead of
for sure
another Peter Parker story.
I think is very interesting to the whole conversation and it leads back to what I was saying before is I think it's pretty special in some ways when we get offered something and the fans respond to it, and that helps to build what happens next rather than this pre-planned kind of machine type of thing. That to me, I think is what I'm kind of tired of, because I think I think like what Amber said and going off what you and Amber said, you put the two together, is that it's possible that if let's say Spider-Man wasn't in Civil War, but Sony had already made the deal with Marvel, and Black Panther does really well, and the demand to see that movie has been so strong, you know what I mean, and the love for the character just from getting that little bit of him has been so amazing. Maybe we have Miles Morales. But in the same token, I'm one of those people that be holding out hope that Donald Glover's involvement in this whole universe thing means that maybe we get multiple Spider-Mans, and but I doubt that's what happens. I feel like he's just going to be in it because back in the day, fans wanted him to be Miles Morales, so maybe they just found some way to put him in it just to service fans in some way. But we'll see.
That's what I like about Marvel. Say what you want about them, but they listen to their fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They listen to the fans. They listen to what people want. They add what people want, and that's what I like about them.
I went and looked up Kevin Feige's history because I wanted to go back so that I could crush you in a Black Geekazoid battle, and I went and looked at Kevin Feige's history, and they had been planning this shit since we were like in high school and shit.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But you would have never known because it moves so slow. It's a slow moving industry, and Kevin Feige is an actual fan of the comics, and I think that lends to him just being a good guy to be at the helm of it. But at the same time, I think there's certain fans who could write a movie, you know what I mean, who could successfully, come together and write, a movie that does well. But I think for the most part, people who think that they can do that are really wrong about themselves. And I don't mean to be that person. You can do whatever you want, kids. Dream as hard as you want to dream. But I mean, come on, man, for real. Most people, you read all the comics you want, you know what I mean? But if they stuck you in a room and said, write this movie, you know what I mean, and then go direct it, you would fucking fail. It's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
It's like people who you can go on the basketball court, right, and you can get picked up in a pickup game, and you can play well, but in reality, you know what I'm saying. There's 30 teams in the NBA, and they have 11-man rosters. You know what I'm saying? So like less than 400 people in the world are good enough to play professional basketball. You know what I'm saying? Sure, you can go out with your friends and shoot, but you ain't no professional. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't believe in that. I'm sorry to say it, but I think fans don't know what they're talking about most of the time, but they think they do so much. And whenever it's like it's so easy to be in hindsight. So it's like, hey, so and so should play this character, and then the guy who plays it doesn't do well. And so I told you that that this guy should have did it. It's like, yo, you in hindsight. It's like it's easy to be right.
But yo, what if they right
the
though?
result,
What if they right? Sometimes they be right as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It's like
sometimes they're very wrong as well.
Not really. When? Name an example. Like I feel like Tyrese should play Green Lantern. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this person play that. Like the fans most of the time be right about shit like that. You know what
Green
I mean?
Lantern should have definitely been black.
Well,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, I
if you
agree.
want to just
I agree.
do, let's go back to the happy mediums. You know what I mean? Like, you want to listen to the fans and put their input in it because at the end of the day, let's face it, this is a business. It's about making money, and those people are the ones that are going to shell out, hundreds and hundreds of dollars to go see your movie every week. I mean, I have a friend, shout out to AJ Zipper. You know what I mean? She's gone to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 27 times.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? 27, 28, 29 times. And I think that's really a testament to what people should really look at when making films. Like, if it hits and it's what the fans want and people like it, they're going to shell out that kind of money. They're going to go see it.
Thank you so much.
Like, the whole world isn't going to go see it 27 times. But, I mean, there's a bunch of people who will go see it that many times because
there's a loyalty there.
Much.
There's a loyalty if they do it right.
Is
you know
that
what I'm saying?
cult
Marvel
following?
knows they're going to make $1 billion most of the time on their movies. It's just like
I
gotta
definitely
have that
agree
happy
with that.
medium.
But I guess I argue from the standpoint of like, the same way like sometimes I argue with my friends. I always end up finding myself talking about something unrelated, but it does relate. So like Chance the Rapper's last album, one of my friends was like, "Man, I'm looking on the internet and people are saying that Post Malone's album is better than Chance the Rapper's new album." And I listened to both when he said that, and I was like, "But they're not in the same league." Like Post Malone actually dropped a really good project. You know what I mean? It's good for the type of music he makes, and he's an underdog because a lot of people don't take him seriously. But he dropped a good album. But Chance's album is not even in the same league. You know what I'm saying? It's like apples to oranges as far as the style of music that it is. And I think that's how I think with movies sometimes, because comic book movies aren't the only movies that exist. You know what I mean? And like the reality of it is, if you want good directors to want to be involved in these projects, and you want good actors to want to be involved in these projects, then they have to kind of feel like that they have some type of creative control or ability to kind of see the character, interpret the character, and play it how they interpret it. You know what I mean? I think that's one of the things that have made the best superhero movies special, is the ability to do that. Because I mean, and not even just the movies. I mean, like the TV shows. Like if Jessica Jones looked like what it did in the comics, it wouldn't be the Jessica Jones that we loved. You know what I mean? Because everybody loved that. And I think that like if you just always listen to the fans are always, especially when it's comics, because the other thing about comics is it's frame by frame. So it's like the movie is already there. You don't have to make it in your mind. It's right there. You look at the character and you say, this actor looks like him, and I've seen this actor in other movies, and I feel like they could act like him. That's who should play the character. You know what I mean? But like, what I think is special about movie making and the film industry and the people who are really good at making the films is they can look at somebody who doesn't look like that person, doesn't fit that role, and it can work if you have the right person. But like you're not going to get what gets Christopher Nolan's of the world to attach themselves to these properties is the fact that in the essence of comic books, to me, in my opinion, is having your own interpretation. There's a million different Supermans. There's a million different ways you can do Batman. There's a million different ways you can do Spider-Man. I don't want to see what's already been done personally. I just don't. I don't want to see a Batman movie that looks just like the cartoon.
But let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. When the last time you seen the shit done like it's done in the comics? Never, cause they never do that shit. They never.
Which is good.
No, it's not. Yo. If I want to see it done, just one. Can I get one time? Just one time where you do it like it's in the comic. That's it. That's all I'm asking. The only thing I can tell you is make it yourself. Be like the people who made that Power Rangers movie. If you really think you can do it and you can do it the best, then do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? But like, I think we should leave these filmmakers alone. I'm gonna do it myself.
I'll help you.
2018. 2018 is coming out.
And I'll help you make it yourself, bro.
Okay, let's do it. I already sent you a script. All right.
Okay, how many shots are our viewers on right now? Because damn it, Don, you always say some crazy shit. Oh my God.
I'm on a couple shots myself, so if I say something insane, then that's why.
Yeah, I think that Don can't help take it personal when I say this because I know that he's pretty much the person that I'm talking to. But you know me, bro. It's no malice. But like, I just believe this wholeheartedly because I think the filming. I just think they do a great job.
I know. I agree with you
when
too.
We get bad superhero movies, I think it's because the wrong person did the movie.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
More so than anything else because some of the best things about some of what we've seen in live action comic book films have been the stuff that they did that like wouldn't have happened in the comic books, in my opinion. That's just the way I feel. Like,
I agree with
and
that.
some of the examples, I mean, they're cliche examples, but they're just like pinpoint examples. Like Harley Quinn doesn't even exist in the comic books. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Adding that character to that show made that show better. I mean, obviously, we all know that like Heath Ledger's version of the Joker did not exist in the comics. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, I mean, and then like what he did with the character is so amazing, and even what Nolan did with the character, the combination of things they did with it, like the fact that Joker never really had like a origin.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like, and like they played on that with like him having clothes that like were self-made, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then he had like the makeup on his hands where you could tell he actually put the makeup on his face, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then it's he's like, let me tell you how I got these scars, but he always tells a different story. You know what I mean? It was like, that shit was cool as fuck. You know what I'm saying? But and that's not from the comics. That's great film.
Even Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, you know, how he acted in Deadpool, that's not how Deadpool actually is in the comics for the most part. You know, he's different in the comics. So even Deadpool, as good as it was, as true to the comics and everything as it was, as true to what the fans wanted as it was, it's still not exactly like the comics. You know, so
right.
You
and
have.
It will be.
You have
I mean, filmmaking is so much different than print. You know, in print you can do whatever you want.
Exactly.
You know?
I agree.
You also gotta kind of love, you know, the project that you're doing as well, and not just be doing it because you're making the money off of it. And I think a lot of those bad movies come from people who aren't making the movie because they want to or love making the movie. They're doing it because they're picking up a check. Deadpool is one of those movies where they spent 6+ years trying to get that movie made. You know, Ryan Reynolds talks about how he was introduced to Deadpool on a movie set and fell in love with it, and then it was like, yeah, I really want to do this. You know what I mean? And, you know, you look at even the Marvel films. I know they get a little bit redundant for people and stuff like that, but I mean, they're made by people who are in love with what they're doing, you know, and Chris Evans probably wasn't somebody's first thought for Captain America, but somewhere it clicked for him and he became Captain America.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a story about how Paul Rudd on the set of Civil War like grabbed Captain America's shield and took a whole bunch of selfies and shit with it because he's that big of a fan of the character.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? And you can tell through what he's doing with his acting, you know. And I'm gonna even say, okay, and I hate to go back to this movie, you can tell that Ben Affleck kind of really wanted to, Batman is kind of his world, so he really and a lot of that
was his
he was the
childhood
best
dream
part
to
of
one
the
day.
yeah, and it's like you have to, as an actor, you're gonna create something. Like Heath Ledger created a Joker that no one's ever seen before, and it worked because he made it his life. Granted, it probably was the reason why he took it life, but he made it his life, and the director made that movie his life. You know what I mean? You have to be a good director and know the product that you're putting out, and really love what you're putting out, and you really need to take care of what you're putting out. And when you don't, it shows, and people feel it. Like, people will buy whatever you put out there if they feel the love behind it, and they feel the genuine, like, we want to make this movie the best movie that we can possibly make. And Deadpool is a prime example of that,
I think another good example.
Reason. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I think another good example of paying homage to the fans was Warcraft. I actually saw it, and it's a pretty good movie.
I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it so bad.
Right, I won't say anything about it then to spoil it, but it was a really good movie. And there was all these articles out here about how it's not adding up to what it should be, but the fanboys and the fangirls are loving it, and the people who put it together, Blizzard, are the people who started the whole thing, and they are in love with the lore of this game. And it shows, like, bits and pieces in the movie that really had no relevance to the story, but it was paying homage to the players that, oh, I know that place, oh, I know this person. And it came together really well. So I think that's a prime example, even if it didn't add up to the numbers that they spent on it or what they were aiming for in the box office, but it did pay homage to the fans. And I think that's what's most important when it comes to putting out movies based on games or based on comics.
I agree, and I spoke about this probably like 3 or 4 Kimcasts ago, where I read an old quote from Zack Snyder where he was talking about how he interpreted Superman and Batman. So I think that's the problem, is like when somebody's interpretation is either wrong or they don't love it, as you said earlier, then it's like they don't need to be on it. But as far as, I think the only reason I give major blowback to the whole idea of fans, I think it's great. Like, don't get me wrong, I love it when they listen. Like I said that earlier. Like, I think it's great when a movie works and fans respond really well to something, and the studio says, well, you guys like that, well, let's move. So I'm not saying that I don't think the fans matter, but what I'm saying is that with this particular genre, it's not going to be around forever. So if we should beat up certain movies because we need to, so that it never happens again. You know what I mean? But then on other ends, like, I didn't enjoy Avengers 2. But at the same time, when you look at what happened to Josh Whedon, this is a guy who loved it. You know, he loved this shit. You know what I'm saying? And the pressure from fans and stuff like that, and people not liking the movie, will make it so that he may never touch this genre again. And this is a guy who has a long history in the fantasy genre. You know what I mean? Not just comic books, but the fantasy genre, that we may never get him back now because of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like some of the pressure that we put on these guys for them to do it how we want them to do it is unfair. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you love it, you might still not make the movie that you wanted to make. You know what I mean? And the pressures of the film industry, like, I mean, the pressures are completely different. And then at the same time, most comic book fans aren't people who are fans of all genres of movies. So they're not watching indie movies. They're not watching certain, they may not be watching horror. They may not be watching drama. You know what I'm saying? And for that reason, they have a small group of actors that they know, because these are probably people who mostly just go to see blockbusters and huge releases and stuff like that. So, like, what would Star Wars be without Daisy Ridley and John Boyega? People that nobody knew. You know what I mean? So and people that, certain parts of the internet, people were like, who the fuck are these people? You can't put them in my Star Wars movie. But what would that movie have been without them? So, like, I'm just in the mindset of trusting the filmmakers when I believe in the filmmaker. You know what I mean? And if as a collective we don't believe in the filmmaker, it's great to have the power to say, hey, we don't believe in this guy, and maybe hopefully we can get him removed. But sometimes when you can't, or when the decisions don't seem like what you think they are, I like to go and be like, okay, maybe though they can get this right. And I really like to be like, okay, I come into movies hoping I learn something. Like when I went to see Civil War, the Russo brothers taught me something. For all the times I've sat in the movie, like a snob being like, oh, I could have made this better than what this person did, and really, really felt that. I mean, the Russo brothers put me in my place. You know what I mean? Because they made a masterful movie. You know what I mean? And that to me is what's great about filmmaking. Watching professionals do what they do. I mean, sometimes the results can be so special that it's like, it's nice that sometimes they can just lock themselves in a room where they're not even listening to us. They do what they want to do, and they can just like blow us away with that sometimes. And I don't ever want to see that go away, because if it does, the results will be a cookie cutter industry. And shit like what Sony is doing that might end up being garbage.
Yeah, well, I think that's why I'm kind of excited about this Sony movie, because of what we did see of Spider-Man in Civil War. Mm-hmm. And like I said, if Sony is smart, they will let Marvel create a Spider-Man, they would, well, they did let them create a Spider-Man, but I'm saying take the Spider-Man that they created and really make this film happen. Like if they were smart, which I think they're gonna do. I think they're just trying to save face, because people are just like, yes, Marvel's taking over Marvel's doing Spider-Man. And it's like, no, we're doing Spider-Man, you guys. You know what I mean? It's kind of like one of those things. It's like if they just go ahead and let them do it, I think we have a really good chance of having a really good homecoming.
What are you guys thinking about the animated movie that they are also trying to...
What animated movie?
In the article, they said they're bringing out a Spider-Man animated film as well. What do you guys think the purpose is of that? Do you think they're going to follow the exact same story that they are with Homecoming, or will it be something completely different?
Well, it's supposed to be two separate entities. And I think if it's anything like the other animated films that Marvel has, it'll be all right. It won't change your life. It won't be like a DC film, but it'll be, it'll be okay. You know what I mean? I don't really think they need an animated film. I don't know why. I think that's just another thing of
DC's animated films are really good. Maybe that's what it is. Yes, they are. Because I know Marvel doesn't focus on that too much, but DC's animated films are very, very good, and they do very well on whatever platforms they're released. So maybe they just would like to get themselves into that market. And the fact of the matter is they have a right to the character no matter what he's in. So why not try to grab every single dollar you can? I guess they're like, since DC is good at animation and not live action like we are, maybe we should just try to be like them. DC is good at live action.
No, they're not.
DC got swindled by a con artist. I don't know what Zack Snyder did, but he walked, because before the changes that they made, he wasn't just in charge of Superman or Batman versus Superman. He was in charge of the whole universe. So he must have went in, gave them a proposal that they really, really liked.
So tragic that that's the last thing we'll see until friggin' Suicide Squad.
But you know what?
Suicide Squad better not falter, man. It's on my birthday, and if it's crap, I swear to God.
Oh, wow.
No.
Oh, man, that was...
I hope
but the
I think it's
Olympics
going
start
to be
that
good.
day, too, so there could be an upper to that downer.
It's all about balance.
Yes.
What were you about to say, Don?
I was going to say, Amber, are you watching Finding Dory? Because we talked about this shit for like 3
well, that was
going
to be in my my Nerd Ventures. I haven't gone to see it yet, but I'll go ahead. I'll just jump in and talk about it for a second. They're talking about Independence Day and Free State of Jones, Shallows. They're going to have to compete with Finding Dory, because Finding Dory is that shit. It opened with 135 million on the weekend. Dory is doing her fucking thing. So I'm just really excited. I'm a Disney buff. I like when Disney Pixar comes together and they make these great stories and these great movies. Finding Nemo was epic. And I just think they are going to do it again with Finding Dory, and I'm excited to go see it. Haven't seen it yet, but I am going to go see it.
Yeah,
this is really weird. I'm looking at Flickster, which uses Rotten Tomatoes, and Independence Day is 53% amongst critics, 98% amongst fans. Free State of Jones is 32% amongst critics and 96% amongst fans. I think that's a really weird split of numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Finding
I
Dory
heard.
is 94% and 91 for fans. Sorry, Don. Go ahead.
My bad. I was gonna say I heard Finding Dory is the highest grossing animated film or something like that. The highest opening animated film, and it beat out Shrek. That's all I was gonna say.
I think that's pretty special, though. I mean, for a movie that didn't come, that it was so long since the first one came out. But I think one thing that happens sometimes when you do that is now some of the people who were kids when they went to see that are grown up and they still remember it and they want to kind of come back to it.
I think it was definitely long awaited because the character Dory, Ellen DeGeneres, was such a highlight in Finding Nemo, and no one really knew much about her. She was kind of just this void of comedic relief throughout this whole sad story of a father trying to find his son, and really behind all that there was a sad story within herself of not being able to find her family or not knowing where her family is. So that was a big open door for a lot of people. I know when I went to see it when I was younger, I wanted to know what was Dory's story.
And
So
Ellen is huge now compared to what she was before.
Right. So that definitely brings more to the table because I think people who are fans of Ellen DeGeneres just off of her television show will just want to see it because she's playing such a big role. So
she has a great voice. She has a voice that's really great for voiceovers and stuff like that. I do think it's one of those things where it's the actor really brings something to the character without you actually being able to see the actor. So
and I love how they kind of make the fish look like the voice actors. She kind of has the blue, she doesn't have blue eyes, they're purple, but just the way her eyes are, Dory's eyes, it kind of favors Ellen DeGeneres, so it kind of brings something else to the animation as well that makes it just great. So yeah, man, I'm pumped.
Well, that's nice that movie was good and everything. I wanted to see Free State of Jones. Didn't even realize it was about to come out. But these the critics are really knocking it. That's not good.
Yeah. We can't trust too much in Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh yeah, I don't trust them at all. But I just look at it sometimes. What did you say?
I said sometimes you just got to see it for yourself. I learned that yesterday because I went to see Central Intelligence and X-Men Apocalypse. Both of which I surprisingly enjoyed. I follow I've been a rock fan since WWF days. So I love him. He's hilarious. He's a great actor. He's really made a way for himself. And Kevin Hart, he's really funny, and they're both really cool guys. Say all that to say it was actually a really good movie. I enjoyed it. I laughed, and
I'm
for
seeing
what
the
it
ratings for
was,
this are pretty decent too. Damn.
For what it was an enjoyable film, and I think it was enjoyable because I think that those two guys are genuinely enjoyable people, and I think they really reach out to their fans. They're very hands-on with their fans. They're very, they're always The Rock is always posting stuff to his fans, all the time. So,
and I think them just being polar opposites, super tall, muscular, super short. You know what I mean?
Just a little thing, and it really, really worked. You know what I mean? And X-Men Apocalypse, I kind of didn't want to see the movie because I was hearing bad things and, looking at trailers and they weren't really selling me. And I was kind of maybe I'll see it when it comes on, HBO or, but I went to see it and I actually don't see why people hated it so much. I can see the problems, but I enjoyed it,
Yeah. I think most of the hate comes from one of those things.
It was better than the first one for me, but it wasn't better than the second one for me, I guess.
I think it's like what Don said, where I think the deviation from the source is what upset a lot of people, and I can understand that. Like I said, I as much as it may seem, I do not have the the opinion that like fans shouldn't have a say or the source material isn't important. But I was able to still enjoy it without that, and I think it was because of the fact that I was, like I said before, I was like enjoying the era of X-Men that they were in, like the young Cyclops, the young, just the fact that the characters were young and they were kind of like going to the mall and stuff. When I used to watch the cartoon, I mean, I think the first episode of the cartoon,
It was in the mall.
Yeah, they
you
were
know
in
what?
the mall.
You know what? They didn't.
Sentinels stuff in that bit.
They didn't show them going to the mall. That's
Yeah,
my
that was
problem
weird.
with that dumbass movie. They didn't show them going to the mall. Fuck that movie.
They didn't show them going to the mall. They threw
They
away
just
a
coming
couple
out,
of characters that they shouldn't have thrown away. But I mean, you
Weren't
know,
they supposed to expand more on Jubilee?
Yeah,
and
they showed
kind of
Jubilee
just-
for like 2 seconds. It was boring.
I feel
man,
like she's
Jubilee
probably gonna
got
play a
that
bigger
Karai treatment, man. She was in that bitch.
She was
But I
barely
feel
in
like
that
she would
movie.
play a role in down the line. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't any room for her. What was she gonna do? What were her sparkles gonna add to what was happening? You know
I
what I'm
don't know.
saying?
They could have figured
Apocalypse would have
something
split
out.
that bitch in half.
Damn.
The way I mean, I don't know if everybody's seen the movie, but the way they threw that other character into it, they could have had Jubilee sparkle up something, at least for 2 seconds.
What other character?
We've all seen it. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, because I didn't know that Wolverine was going to be it until I accidentally saw a commercial. But the way they put Wolverine in it, which was an interesting take, and it was kind of cool because it kind of brought you, it was like the storyline, and it was like, oh, okay, they were there when he was in, that's how he got out of there, and blah, 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 blah. But it was kind of like, I felt like they also was like, yeah, we got to throw Wolverine in this movie.
They have
Otherwise,
to.
it's not going to, we ain't
Yeah.
have nothing else in this movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, man, I just disagree with that so much because I loved the Wolverine scene, and to me, it moved the movie forward though as well.
no.
Like,
I love the Wolverine scene. I thought it was basically
You
the
didn't like
highlight
the
of the
reveal?
movie for me. If I guess if I wouldn't have known he was in it, I would have been like, oh snap, you know what I'm saying, Wolverine. But I already kind of knew he was gonna be in it. But at the same time, I felt like it was a push. It was like, yeah, we need something else in this movie because we don't really have anything in it right now that's gonna be like a.
To me, the push was the fact that
effect.
at the end of the second movie, right? Goddamn Stryker is revealed to be Mystique.
Right.
And then in this movie, Stryker actually has Wolverine. So in the other one, you know, like Magneto like puts those metal rods through Wolverine's body and throws him in a river.
Right.
And you see him being pulled out and Stryker's eyes glow yellow, which is the ending to damn near every Bryan Singer X-Men movie, where it's like the person at the end always ends up being Mystique playing, you know, somebody every time. And I don't know if anybody notices that Bryan Singer's movies are all the same. It's like Cerebro is used against Professor X, then he's captured, they go to get him, you know what I'm saying? And something tragic happens to him along the way. This time he lost his hair, you know what I mean? Because he had already lost his, you know, legs and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And Mystique kind of helps save the day. You know what I mean? Like,
he lost his
right.
hair.
And then she turns into some white guy. And it's like you see the yellow flash, and that's the end of the movie. But Stryker actually, real life, has Wolverine. So it's like, what the fuck?
What's she doing? Like, did she not complete the plan?
Let
was she?
me tell you what happened. Those movies don't give a shit about continuity. And X-Men,
Right,
I think it was, I think it was X-Men. What was it? X-Men Origins, Wolverine. X-Men. I mean, what the fuck is his name? Professor X was back in the 70s, right? Because that movie took place in the 70s. In X-Men, I've been drinking. Sorry. In X-Men Origins Wolverine, you see Professor X in the past, in the 70s, and he's Patrick Stewart, and he has bald hair, and you see him with Magneto. I forget the actor's name. But then in X-Men First Class, you see him in the 60s, and he's that young guy, whatever the guy's name, the British actor.
He has hair.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? What
and
the fuck
there's
is
supposed
this?
to be 10 years between the Days of Future Past in this movie,
Exactly.
and everybody looks exactly the fucking same. Like 10 years is a long time. I'm 28. You go back 10 years, I was fucking 18.
Right,
I look
right.
nothing like I do right now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like everybody looked exactly the same.
Oh my God.
That's the problem. They don't give a shit about continuity, and that Mystique thing proves it. So,
But I liked the movie because of the fact that there were certain points that were hit where it was like this is the X Men always wanted. Sentinels
right.
weren't in it, but it was teased that they could be fucking shit up in later movies. That was the first time I saw Wolverine, and I was like, "That's fucking Wolverine." As much
Mm-hmm.
as I've grown accustomed to seeing him being played by who he's played by and everything, and I've grown accustomed to that look and everything, I've never been used to this like emotional Wolverine. One of them, I was never more angry. I can't remember which X Men it was. I think it was the second one of the first run of the trilogy, where he's fighting against that one character who has adamantium too, and but hers comes through our
That's
fingers,
the first
and
one.
like
That's Lady
okay,
Deathstrike
yeah,
right
he was
there.
like running away from her, like scared. Like, is that part when he's like on his back, running away from her? And I literally have never seen Wolverine run away, like back away from anything. And that shit fucked me up for a long time. But like, to me, Wolverine goes forward, and he's always trying to fight his way out of everything. So I was just really happy to see like this grunting. I have no words, just animal Wolverine, and we got to actually see blood. So I don't know how they got the PG-13 rating with that. Maybe it was just because they never showed, his blades actually
Right.
connecting.
I think that's why it
always just
was.
being splashed. Yeah, that's probably why it was, for sure. But he was so brutal, and that's the Wolverine I always wanted. And this next one is going to be rated R, so I think it was also a tease to the fact that we're about to get the brutal, grunting, angry Wolverine that everybody always wanted
Yeah.
without any love interest.
I still feel like they just threw him in there because they needed something. I mean, at the end, they threw in Phoenix like it was just like, and now she's Phoenix. It's like, really? Like so quickly? You know
No
what
build
I'm saying?
up. There really wasn't any build up.
And then he was like, "Let it go, let it go." But it's like you don't know what she's supposed to be
and
letting
then
go.
she's able to come out of it like nothing happened.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now she's all of a sudden able to control Phoenix. Like in all the other movies, she couldn't control Phoenix. Now all of a sudden she's just let go, Jean. It's like in the Phoenix, and then it's like whoa.
Yeah.
And then the power of the Phoenix were like, it's supposed to be, or it should be in theory, like harder to control. Like so, there should have been some collateral damage from that, but it was very much focused on just Apocalypse. You know what I mean? Which shows a level of control that she should not have.
Speaking sorry to cut you off. I just wanted to ask a live action question. Speaking of Apocalypse, do you have a position on the Apocalypse choked out Mystique billboard ad?
Oh, I mean, when I looked at it, I wasn't like, oh my God, I can't believe he's choking. I looked at it and I was like, oh, okay, X-Men's coming out. I mean, I don't know. maybe I see what people are mad about. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not offended by it. Like I said, I didn't look at it and I wasn't appalled. To me, I saw a movie coming out or a movie trailer. I guess I see what people's argument is, but also don't see what the big deal is. I don't know. Like, it didn't offend me. I guess that's what you're asking. I wasn't offended.
Well, all right. Well, that concludes it. It was bullshit. We have a person on the outside coming in to tell us it's also bullshit. So, all right. I was just wondering.
Oh, okay. I was like, y'all feel the same way too? Because I was like, oh my God, everybody's quiet.
So, yeah, we talked about it on the last Kim Cat.
No, I was very much offended by it.
Oh, man. Sorry, Space.
I was so offended by that shit. I couldn't believe that orange blue woman was getting choked out by that purple man. It was ridiculous.
Like it wasn't like it was Mystique. Like it wasn't like Jennifer Lawrence was being choked out by Apocalypse. Like it wasn't a representation of a real woman and a representation of a real man. Like it was a mythical being created in a comic book choking out another mythical being. And that part just so happened to be in the movie. So now are they offended by that part of the movie? Is it like, should they cut that part of the movie because the billboards went bad? Like,
it was kind of a striking image to show. I think this person. It was kind of violent, but I think the issue should be the violence, not the man versus a woman thing. It was pretty. It's pretty violent of a thing to throw on the billboard. It's kind of thirsty of them, honestly, in my opinion, of X-Men to post that out
To
there.
me, it just didn't make any sense. Like, it wasn't showing anything about the movie. It wasn't like, it was just kind of a frame that they captured from the movie, not really telling any type of information or story.
Right.
So it could have gone a different direction and it would have been fine. But outside of that,
for my, I'm just gonna move on with no segue. For my Nerd Ventures, I've been playing.
I am the queen of not giving nobody no segue. I swear, I never do it. I'm so sorry, you guys.
Oh no!
Me and Don always are just like our segue is just to start talking about it.
Yeah.
I'll do better.
Nah, you good. I'm just, I ain't got no filter. I'll just say shit. Look, I've been playing PS4. I've been playing Until Dawn, downloading demos and shit. It's to the point where I'm probably going to live on my PS4, and that's my Nerd Ventures, I have
Is Until Dawn the one where the zombies are they're like flowing, like they're almost like...
No, that's Days Gone.
Days Gone.
I was just about to ask him about that. I saw that today, yo. I was like, what?
Days Gone looks so good. I want to get
Yo, it's like Resident Evil on steroids.
It's like World War Z. Remember the zombies from World War Z? And they were like flooding and just piling on top of each other. That's exactly what it looks like.
Did you see like the 12-minute full gameplay?
Yep. I did.
Oh my god, yo.
I was like, I can't do it. I'm gonna have to watch. I'm gonna have to be on Twitch because I'll have a heart attack literally with the controller in my hand. It looks so intense. Like,
yes.
Dude.
I hope it has co-op. It makes me want to buy a PS4 because I'm a one girl.
I that's definitely the reason why I bought a PS4, for all the demos, all the shit I saw at E3. My game plan is this, right? I'm gonna play all the games I haven't played, like Until Dawn, Batman, Arkham Knight. I'm gonna play Uncharted 4. I'm gonna wait, get Call of Duty Infinite Warfare because they wanted me over with a gameplay trailer. I'm gonna get, whatever else come out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
weren't you also interested in the Spiderman?
Hell yeah! I'm gonna get Spiderman. I'm gonna get all that shit. Like, that shit is getting bought, and it's all because of E3. And I just plan to spend just insane amounts of time in front of my PS4. I got the damn.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah, man, just get a PS4 and get one used. I got mine used. You know what I mean?
Just use your PC and do it up with Steam.
Right? I've officially ran out of time to do anything, but
I ain't got time neither, yo. It's just I just be doing that shit in the morning and late at night when I have time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I give my daughter her Cheerios, and I'm over here on Fallout. Like, hold on, baby. I'll get you out your high chair in a second. I know it's been 30 minutes, but wait.
I gotta find this armor.
Because I don't have an actual job. If I start playing video games, I will definitely ruin my life. It's like
possible.
it is pretty much everything I need to ruin my life is right there in front of me the second I get a gaming system.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
that's what's gonna happen. Trust me. I'm gonna play 2K until my fingers literally just burn off, and I won't go anywhere or do anything. Last time that game came out, I don't play many other games, as I do love playing all the type of games that you were talking about, Don. But as I stopped having the time, I just kind of like dwindled it down to a couple games. And when it comes to 2K basketball, I love that game so much that when it came out, I took a vacation from my job, but I did not leave the house. I had what I called a staycation.
You had a staycation?
Yes, well, I called it a two-cation. And I stayed in the house. I went to Walmart. I bought one of those like lawn chairs that you sit on outside, you know what I mean, with the cup holders. And I would have a beer in one cup, you know what I mean? And like, I don't know what else in the other, maybe like my remote or whatever. That's not important. But like, and I literally played that shit like it was my job for 6 days straight, nigga. Damn.
Oh my gosh. That's the real right there. Like,
that sounds fun though.
Yeah,
I had like 1 million VC points and stuff, which is virtual currency. Man, I went ham on that game.
Man.
I'm not in the baseball. Yeah, fuck. That's how you can tell. I'm not in the basketball for real. But I want to play fucking 2K. I want to play that game because I feel like same thing with Madden. Like it gets me more into the sport. So I feel like when the next 2K drop, I'm gonna get that shit and play the fuck out of that too.
2K is just such a good game. Like if you like sports games, I just feel like it's such a damn good game. But yeah, man, maybe if I get one back and I have the time for it, maybe one of these days it'll be coming to this channel. That is something that me and Chris discussed. So if fans are listening, we may be playing games for you guys. That'd be the only way I do it.
Yeah, I'm definitely wanting to get on some Let's Play stuff. Once I get my rig set up, I want to get on there with you. For sure. And I also have the Xbox One for I know live action. You said you're a one girl. I'm a one girl too. So yeah, we can just.
I'm waiting on that. I'm waiting on that new Gears.
Ooh, girl.
That looks so good.
It looks good.
Yes.
It's looking like they're bringing some origin stuff to it, and that's what I like about it.
So
we have an Xbox One at the studio, so I can join you guys maybe at some point.
Yeah.
Horde mode.
I know, right? Gosh.
Man. So speaking of video games, guys, I know we're running over. We've been running over lately. We've just been having a lot of shit to talk about. But I'm gonna do the trending tweets. It just so happens that a trending tweet going on right now is ruin a video game. Hashtag ruin a video game. So I'm gonna read off a few of these for you guys. At M. Sarek said 007 Golden Girls. Hashtag ruin a video game. Prank Call of Duty. As Farrah Muse said that. Hashtag ruin a video game. Covington Q said President Evil. Hashtag ruin a video game. And it's a picture of Donald Trump. We have Miles to Go 13 said World of Arts and Crafts. Hashtag ruin a video game. Okay, I'll do like two more. Brian D. I said Sonic the Hedge Fund Manager. Hashtag ruin a video game. And this is for y'all, for the 2K fans. And it's so wrong. I fucking hate it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. MJG Writes, at MJG Writes says WNBA 2K 2017 hashtag ruin a video game.
Wow.
That's cold-blooded, right? Like, come on now, man.
Wow.
Cold-blooded.
Wow.
Cold-blooded.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
That's
The funny thing is they've been rumoring. It's been rumors for like the last couple of years they was gonna add WNBA teams to the game.
They should. I
Fuck
mean,
that
why
rumor.
not? I mean, I don't give a shit about basketball
like
either way.
a
So
big deal. I think. It should be an option. I know plenty of girls that play sports games, and I think it'll be a good addition if they were to try to do something like that. But anyways, you guys,
I have a little segment real quick. I want to ask everybody what's their favorite summer song. You know what I mean?
song.
Your favorite song of the summer. What represents the summer for you in the form of music?
Like it has to be like this year.
Nah, just any song that represents the summer. I'm gonna pick it.
Summertime.
Oh,
Yeah,
you took mine.
Funny, that's just the one that you always think of.
Yeah, I mean, it
Like
just
we
makes
use
sense.
without Party Like It's 1999, even though it's like 2020.
2017. Yeah, exactly.
It's like we're gonna party like it's 99. It's like I was born in 2000. What?
But who cares? I love that song. But yeah,
But now
definitely summer.
Just be 2099 is what we can start to say.
Right?
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Shit, I'll
will
be dead.
not be here.
Yeah, I'll be dead. Unless we
Party
I'll be here.
heaven
I'm never
like
gonna
it's
die.
20.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be
Might
in
like
space. Yeah.
cyborgs or some shit. Let's just start getting prosthetic parts and just do it like that. Shit, they building everything these days. They growing hearts and ears and shit. We might be alive
What
forever.
I want to do, I want to die hugging something. So like when I know I'm gonna die, I'm like, hey, I think I got about 5 years left. So I would just hug the shit out of something so that like my essence just like fully goes into it. And so I'll be like some haunting ass tree and shit. Like they keep cutting it down and then they look outside. It's gonna be white people I haunt, of course. And they look outside and it's like I just keep coming back and shit.
Gosh.
Like who is this guy that keeps
That'd be
coming
great.
back? Yeah.
Hey, but can I say something about this summer thing, right? I don't have a favorite summer song, but I do have a favorite summer album, probably multiple ones, but the one that really comes to mind, hope it came out in the summer, but it just feels like summer, is Maroon 5's first album, Songs About Jane.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I don't have a convertible, but if I did, I would ride around, drop the top down, blasting, songs about Jane, and it's just the perfect album to play.
I know what's right. I think that album for me would probably I don't even know if any of y'all like this guy, but Jason Mraz, We Sing, We Something, and We Steal Stuff. That's
I do like some of his music.
I like his
from
music
start
too.
To finish, that's a pretty good album for the summer.
I like, this is a hip hop edition, but I like Good Kid, Mad City. You know what I mean? I'm not affiliated with any gangs, but I don't live on the West Coast. But when I hear Mad City, that shit made me feel like I'm in Compton on like playing San Andreas or some shit. That shit, yeah, exactly. Like that shit is just the shit.
And then the story that's being told throughout the album has a summer feel to it in some type of way as well. So
Right.
I feel you on that.
Yeah, man. Hey, I got some sound effects too, real quick before we close out. All right.
Yeah.
Access denied. Access granted.
Why are you randomly playing these?
You should have been using them like throughout. I swear, like one podcast, just straight like whenever you feel like it's needed, just do a sound effect.
Okay,
Oh,
I'll do that. Okay, all right, I'll stop. All right, but yeah, I got a whole bunch. I'm gonna do it next time.
All right, for sure, you guys. All right. Once again, another hour and 30-minute episode, but it's all right. I hope you guys are still tuning in. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and sub, and also comment down there and let us know what you thought about this episode. Guys, where can we find you at, guys and girls? Where can we find you guys on social media?
You can find me at DONSGFX on Twitter.
Space.
Oh, I'm next. I'm sorry. At the Space Menace, TheSpaceMenace. And also please follow us at DDP_online. We upload a lot of great stuff to that in particular, so please follow there as well.
Yes, please do that shit.
And our lovely guest that has come on, and I think we're going to have her on board permanently. Where can we find you on the social medias, girl?
All right. You can catch me on Twitter and Instagram. I'm Live Action Animation. Or you can hit me up on Geeks Are Easy, and that's on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
All right. And I am your girl, Amber. You can find me at Nerdi Amber on the Twitters.
Yeah. I got more sound effects.
No more sound effects. We have to leave. Bye.
Okay, I'll stop. We out.
Okay, guys.
The actual rebirth. What I really love, though, is the crossover. It is a crossover, but between the DC Universe and Watchmen. That was awesome. I remember the first rebirth issue started out with the clock or the watch. I'm like, where the hell are they going with this? This is so weird. And then at the end, you see the pin, and we didn't. We don't see Dr. Manhattan's. We don't see his nether regions or anything. But you know it's there. Like we're gonna see it.
Daydreamers. Good night.